Backpack-themed organization and strategy gameplay has become a very popular trend over the last few years, comparable to many other genres like action roguelikes, and I'm all for it. Games like this tend to overstimulate you due to the simplistic but satisfying gameplay elements that are oftentimes very hands-off. And of course, as follows, many developers who are very eager to search for easy ways to contribute to a new developing genre that haven't been done very frequently to oftentimes cash in on the popularity while it lasts. Neoduel is presently available as a free early access demo with a Pokemon-inspired backpack organizing system. I'm sure you're in some way acquainted with one of the first games that started this trend, that being Backpack Hero when it was originally released on itch.io before being released on Steam as a completely new game with added features. Followed shortly after by the overwhelmingly addicting Backpack Battles, where you were fighting against other players, or at least the competitive screenshots of their builds in a ranking system with tons of diversity. There's just something about Neoduel that makes it so much more fun and relaxing to play. Even though there is a competitive side to it, it feels much more casual and fair because everything feels relatively balanced unless you get unlucky with your builds. There really aren't that many overwhelming features here because it's done so well with a really chill low-fi vibe, and by that I mean you don't really have to figure out the recipes or to look up a wiki on how they all function. When you hover your cursor over each of the Cosmians, you will see what they can and cannot be fused into, and then you simply need to find and fuse the other Cosmians together to create the new result. It has a surprising amount of depth here. Typically, backpack organization games are relatively overpowered in some ways, needing constant tweaks and changes to make them feel fair and balanced. But no matter what game you're playing, there's always the possibility of a new build taking over when it comes to competitive play, making it feel all forced. The great thing about Neoduel is that there's a lot of RNG, and while picking one specific element is always an option, you may never obtain a single upgrade or a proper Cosmian that you want, so it makes it really hard for you to actually force things, while making you feel a little bit more strategic and open to the idea of mixing a lot of the elements together most of the time. This is where it gets very exciting because once you start to build a playstyle that you haven't played before and you figure out some special function or just a way to make it better, you spend a lot of your time just rearranging everything so that you can make more space, giving yourself the best setup, links, and of course an overall higher chance of you winning your next fight and taking home some more badges, which can then be used to unlock new avatars and to show off your skill on the daily, weekly, and global leaderboards. Once again, in Neoduel, you will be fighting your opponents, which are screenshots of other players as you level up and customize your backpack to your preferred style or anything that you can find on your current run. Every couple of fights, you'll be granted special powers which can make or break your build, so choose wisely and play around them if you can. You do have a life bar, so if you lose a fight, you will lose a heart. Your goal is to win without exhausting your hearts, so you should reconsider the current setup, drop Cosmians, and try again with fresh optimism that you will win the next fight, even if it does take you 5 to 10 minutes to fill every inch with as much support as possible. There are so many different styles to experiment with that you'll always want to come back every single day, all for the simple reason that it is very addicting and difficult to pull yourself away from, especially with how often the developers seem to add in new content, making it even more fun. If you're looking for something that's a lot more casual and has some competitive organization strategy in it, Neoduel is the place to go. With all the updates and quality of life features such as the new fusions, balance, and many other features that help keep the game fair and also challenging for one another, so far it seems to be the most relaxing, entertaining, and dare I say, least frustrating experiences when it comes to competitive leaderboards. It is due to be launched shortly, so when I check it out now with the demo to see if it's something that you would like to support in the future. If you're really into strategy and Pokemon, you'll definitely get a kick out of this one.